Thanks for inviting us in. We want to begin tonight at 11 with breaking news because in the last half hour, police have confirmed a woman died after a shooting on the west side of Indianapolis. All of this unfolding around 7 tonight. Officers getting the call to Lapine Drive. That's over near 465 and 34th Street. That's where police found the victim, who was taken to the hospital where she died. Right now, we're working to learn what led up to this shooting and if Metro Police have identified any potential suspects. We're going to follow this story for you overnight. You can find updates about the investigation on both WTHR.com and on Sunrise starting at 6 a.m. We're also following breaking news tonight on the IU Indianapolis campus. The university posting on social media less than an hour ago about shots fired in a suspected case of road rage. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. The posts say it happened on West Michigan Street. That's near the Riverwalk Apartments. They tell us that someone fired multiple shots directly at a person's car before driving away. That person targeted is not affiliated with the university. The suspect vehicle reported to be a black sedan with a broken tail light and an "In God We Trust" license plate. So if you have any information, please call IUPD. Tonight at 11, we also want to break down that edited body cam footage showing an IMPD officer shooting and killing a man. Police tell us this happened last May at an apartment complex on Cavalier Court. That's near 38th and Post on the far east side of Indianapolis. Tonight, our Chase Howell talked with the man's father just a few hours after that edited video was released.
Denise District 54 carjacking just occurred.
A carjacking at a gas station on the city's far east side is what police say led to an officer shooting and killing a man. Security video from that gas station supplied by IMPD allegedly shows a man with a gun approach a woman at the pump, demand her belongings, and then drive off in her car. Shortly after, IMPD says an officer spotted the car about a mile and a half from where it was allegedly jacked.
I've got eyes on both vehicles in Cavalier Court. Sorry, more cars.
Police say when the officer went to approach the man, he noticed a gun in his waistband. But before that man was ever a suspect in a crime, he was Jarrett Gray Sr.'s son.
I love my son, my oldest son, my junior.
In the edited body cam footage from IMPD, the officer is seen chasing who they say is Jarrett Gray Jr. As Gray approaches the car, he turns around to grab something from the ground. That's when the officer shoots his gun 7 times.
That's the only thing that's in my mind is the whole time is just how scared he was and, how confused he was on not really knowing what to do in that moment.
After the video fades out from the editing, IMPD says the officer ran after Gray. That's when they bring us to this clip of the officer running through the apartment parking lot. As he reached Gray, he yells, "Drop it!" Then fires 7 more shots at Gray from across the parking lot.
The whole time he's running and he's getting shot in his back. The whole time. You can see as the officer was approaching him, if he was really fearful for his life, there was a trash can that he passed. He could have took cover. He could have did anything to salvage my son's life.
The edited body cam footage then shows Gray drop next to a parked car. The officer fires 2 more times. Gray then begins to shout something from afar.
The only thing I could imagine is like he was trying to surrender. Like maybe he was just saying, "I give up."
The officer then commands, "Arms out! Arms out!" And then you can see Gray do some type of movement with his arms when the officer fires again.
It's tough. It's tough being a father and having to see that and see your child in a situation that is just so helpless.
Police say officers on scene did try to help Gray after he was shot, but he later died from his injuries. And while Gray Sr. thinks his son should have paid for the crime he allegedly committed, he should also be here to defend himself.
I don't make any excuse. I don't make any reservation for, what he's being accused of. However, there was no reason he had to be killed. He was really shot down.
The officer who shot Jarrett Gray Jr. was Austin Kirby. He's been placed on administrative leave tonight while the Use of Force Review Board looks into that shooting. Now, we did ask IMPD for an interview. A spokesperson, though, told us they don't supply additional information about critical incident videos. John?
All right, Scott. Well, you can definitely feel the difference maker tonight. That is that north wind that's going to drive down our coldest air of the season before the weekend is over. At this hour, 61. North wind continues 15 to at times over 20 miles per hour here, and it's going to drop these temperatures down big time. 50s already showing up. Tomorrow morning, widespread 40s. So if you're going to be out for that walk early on, expect a chillier setup and a brisk day. We'll talk about a colder morning on Sunday ahead in the 7-day forecast.
All right, Sean, we'll see you in a little bit. Right now, federal investigators are looking into the cause of a deadly plane crash that took place today in Madison County. They're trying to figure out how many people died, but confirmed there were no survivors. Authorities tell us that flight plan listed 4 people, but that number has not yet been verified. That small plane was headed from Iowa to the Anderson Municipal Airport. Investigators tell us the plane was too high as it flew into the airport, so it circled around again. A witness told 13 News the plane flipped in the air before crashing into a cornfield. It was less than 1 mile from its destination. Vicki Sullinger was working nearby when she heard the plane and then called 911.
It didn't sound normal, but it was quick. And then there was the rattling on the building and the loud thud.
Tonight, the FAA and NTSB are working to figure out what went wrong. The Madison County coroner is also involved in this case, working with medical examiners in Iowa to identify the people on board. Tonight at 11, people living in a community on the east side of Indianapolis are looking for answers after a man and woman were found dead. Investigators tell us they believe this was a murder-suicide. Marina Silva is digging into what drew investigators to that home in the first place and sharing reaction tonight from neighbors about what police discovered.
It's a fairly quiet neighborhood here on North Chester Avenue in East Indy. Now, the community is wondering what was happening inside this house where a man and woman were found dead inside.
The landlord called IMPD after another tenant called him. When officers arrived at the house for a wellness check Thursday night, they found a door on the side of the house was open. According to police, they went inside and found a man and a woman dead. We know animal control was there while detectives were going in and out of the house. The landlord, Brian Boyd, told 13 News he tried to reach the woman who was listed on the lease.
I sent her a message, it showed as delivered, so I thought her phone was on, but I just thought, let me call the non-emergency line and do a wellness check, and 30 minutes later, that's when I got the news.
Boyd said this is a difficult situation for all involved, and he is still processing everything that has happened. In Indianapolis, Marina Silva, 13 News.
Here's a look at the other stories making headlines right now. A man and woman tonight are charged after a 3-year-old got a hold of a gun and shot himself here in Indianapolis. Tonight, we just got the court documents saying the boy's mom, Anaya Velasquez, was in a car with that toddler and 3 other kids picking up Antrian Rice from work. Rice told police he put his gun on the floor, then got out to play with the kids while Velasquez was on the phone. That's when Rice says the boy got the gun. The boy was taken to the hospital with critical injuries. Tonight, a person is in custody after a shooting in Johnson County. Police tell 13 News someone shot a 35-year-old Greenwood man around 6:30 this morning near County Line Road and Meridian Street. Investigators believe the shooter and victim knew each other. The man injured is expected to recover. There's a new food pantry on the south side of Indianapolis. It officially opens tomorrow at the Love Your Neighbor Center along Churchman Avenue. Organizers tell us there is a growing need in this area and a lack of grocery stores nearby.
You feel great that you can serve that gap and that you can be a part of that process of knowing that people get food in their bellies.
A 40-acre sports park is now open in Greenwood. City leaders hope it draws both local families and traveling sports teams. This facility is located off I-65 near the Worthsville Road exit. The $10 million project features baseball and softball fields, trails, a state-of-the-art playground, and a splash pad. Remember, you can find all of our latest local stories anytime on our 13 News app.